Geocachomaniacs.
Geo Gearheads.
Welcome back to the Geo Gearheads, episode 469. I'm Daryl W4, back as usual with Chris of the Northwest.
Daryl, so good to see you. I hear you had a bad week.
I've had a rough few weeks, actually, but it's so nice to be back on the show. And I did an extra show yesterday. I was on Geocaching Podcast.
Nice.
Kind
Just
of a blast from the
Get
past.
you geared up for this one?
Well, it was the wrap-up show for 2020. So I figured that would be the perfect lead-in show to our Events of 2021 show that we're doing today, which, depending on where you are, could be the first show of 2021 for us, or it could be the last show of 2020.
It's the last show of 2020.
Well, I don't know. We've got a
Recorded
guest
show.
tonight, Michelle,
Oh, you're right.
for whom this is the first show for 2021.
Yes.
So
G'day, Daryl. G'day, Chris. How you going?
We have to make the requisite joke about, you're giving us the advice from the future.
Mhm.
Yes.
You're
And the
giving
future
us the
looks
preview.
good. The future
So-
looks really good.
So for you, see, Michelle, 2020 is really over.
Oh, 100%. It's long gone. Like it's 13 hours gone here.
The dumpster is finally burned out.
Well, not entirely. There's still some smoldering there, especially
Yeah,
here.
see, that's the thing, is that 2020 is going to hang on and just be there for us. But we've also
2020
got
V2.
Oh, I hope not. But we've also got On a Boat back with us, because how can we not have On a Boat on the show when we're talking about events?
I don't know. How can
Hello.
we? Oh no, we have to. It's obvious.
Yeah.
I'm here, so you're stuck with me now. How are you guys? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year! And Trexter says event teasers. Let's hope they can happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was saying before the show started, I was a lot more optimistic about 2021 before I heard the statements on this morning's news.
Today we may have heard them here. I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, what was that?
What statements were they?
Oh, yeah. Well, the U.S. has been lacking in distribution of the coronavirus vaccine, including some sabotage and whatnot. But where they were thinking they could reopen things by summertime, they're now thinking we're looking at fall. So that kind of puts a damper on a lot of these events that we're going to be talking about.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's kind of our disclaimer early on.
Now, come on. Let's be honest. It wouldn't be USA without some sort of shenanigans and some sort of uproar and something happening like that's 2020 is still around for you guys. So.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they have to make sure it just hangs on that much longer,
Mhm.
just to make us that much more miserable.
USA. Isn't that what you guys do? I'm not sure.
Something
should-
like
I don't walk
Right.
around doing that. I don't know.
I should really pull back my my whole USA thing. I do honestly, I do love the USA. Actually, Daryl, Chris, and On a Boat. Do you guys want some big news?
Please.
Absolutely.
we need
No,
something.
Some breaking news. Yeah, breaking news. The whole thing. I have my my interview coming up for my US visa. It's coming up
Oh,
in
nice.
3 weeks' time, and I'm looking at moving in February or March at the latest.
Nice.
So there you go. Going from
So-
a really nice COVID-free land to
The nice COVID land.
yeah.
Yeah, I
the
was
land
going to say, you're going from the land where it's all open. You can go geocaching. You can have events to the
Lockdown
closed
city.
country.
Yeah, well, we were closed though. Back in, for the first half of this year, all up until about a month and a half ago, we were actually closed to events and to geocaching and everything. They were really, really cracked down hard here, our reviewers. And so yeah, but we'll talk about the events later on that had to they postponed until 2021. So
Mhm.
yeah, yep. But so I've been through that already, so I'm gonna have to go through it again by the looks of things.
So, see, Michelle, is it true that you're going to do this whole 90-day fiance thing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But I'm not going to be on the show. No. She
Oh,
won't let me.
man, you should do the show and let them pay for your trip.
Yeah, but they don't, you see. So with
Oh.
90 Day Fiance, they don't pay for me. They pay her a fortnightly wage for her to be on the show. But there's no way. You'll never even see her in any of my videos, really. I'll be honest. Like, she's not like Renee and Daryl. Like, Renee sits there and Renee's the light of your YouTube channel. It's not like that. None of that. Mine likes the back of the camera thing, you know, like that's all good. No, how is Renee anyway, Daryl?
Oh, she's doing very well.
Yes, yes.
And we actually got out today, and that video is going to drop tomorrow, to do an adventure lab with a bonus cache. So we got our last of 2020, which I was beginning to doubt we were going to actually be able to pull that off this year.
And you had a week to do it.
I know.
Can you imagine if it was just a day?
Well, and unfortunately, she didn't come home from the hospital until Sunday. So she was in the hospital from before the show started on Thursday through Christmas all the way to Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Jeez. Poor thing.
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Well, the worst part about it, she probably wouldn't have had maybe even a night stay if it weren't the holiday. You know, you had all kinds of different teams fighting over what they thought was right, and you know, you couldn't get a good consensus. And of course, the doctors that could make the decision were unavailable.
Because they were having dinner and lunch with their loved ones.
Sure, well, and they've got their residents who are taking care of it, and you know, it's
yes. And I hear the healthcare is very different over there compared to here too. So
yes.
Oh.
So you'll have some fun adjustments as you get into it.
Interesting.
Well, why don't we actually get into the events though? And of course, the stuff we're really looking at is the mega events. So On a Boat, that's kind of your specialty lately. So why don't you take it away?
Lately, yeah. Yeah, so I took some time kind of looking through what is on the agenda for 2021. Right now, there's 56 total mega and giga events scheduled for. It's a weird noise. 56 total mega and giga events scheduled for 2021 right now. And as we all know, it's kind of subject to change, right? So this is all as of right this moment. Could change, like Daryl said. So be optimistic, right? But the first thing on the schedule isn't until March, actually. So we still have a little bit of time to kind of get things going in the right direction. Texas Challenge, 19th annual Texas Challenge in Texas is March 13th of 2021. And Daryl, I don't know if you remember, but back when all of this started happening, the Texas Challenge Mega in 2020, their 18th annual, was actually the last event that we had here. And that was like the weekend that everything was cracking down. So it's kind of weird. It's been almost a year already. Isn't that crazy?
I know. Well, that's exactly what I was thinking as you started talking about is that was like the last mega event we had.
Yeah.
Period.
Yep.
Not just in the US, but I think that was the last mega globally.
It very well may have been. I don't follow a whole lot of what happens in Europe. I know they've had, I thought they had a couple things that they tried to get off in Europe, and I'm not sure if they went through or not.
Yeah, and there were a bunch that were like kind of holding out to the last minute, I think.
Yeah. I know a lot of people were trying to do that, and I mean, we tried to do that and it just didn't work out. But after,
by the way, Scott says that your podcast cheating.
You can have me. He doesn't ask me to be on the show.
I'm the same. He's never asked me. Like,
yeah, I'm around.
That's good.
Daryl just likes me better, Scott.
Ian, that's because your name's not Chad. That's why you need to change your name to Chad for him to have you on. Chad.
All right. Sorry, Scott.
We love you. We really do.
The next thing on the list after the Texas Challenge, there's actually 4 events in Europe in March and April. So it gets kind of busy there. I believe one of them is actually a Giga event in Prague. Also has the maze there. I think it's at the end of April, possibly, or beginning of May. But Belgium, Germany, Czech Republic, they got a bunch of different events there. Immediately after that, we get into early May. It kind of gets into our U.S. mega season, right? So May 8th of 2021, Mingo Madness in Kansas is back on the schedule again. Those poor guys had to postpone twice last year. They also have the maze as well. Go ahead.
I was going to say, can I interrupt you there, just for information? So this is how USA has infiltrated Australia now as well. So you know how we say the date different. We say the 8th of May, and you go May 8th, right? So in Australia, the big thing is here with Australia Day being in January, you know, with the Indigenous culture and all that sort of stuff. They wanted to actually move Australia Day to May the 8th, and do you know why? Being Australia, if you say May 8th, you go May 8th. May 8. That's a true story. That's
a stretch. That's a stretch.
Mate. May 8, mate. Yep. Mate Day. May 8 day.
It's the same thing with like May the 4th. Like all the Star Wars stuff we do. May the 4th.
Exactly right. But this is the Australia Day, May 8. Mate.
That's a stretch.
But it's a true story. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, mate. Don't interrupt.
No, it's fine. The only other thing I had to add on Mingo, and there is some more info on Mingo here, but they also have the maze that's going to be in Mingo. So it's kind of like a twofer kind of event if you're in the area. So it should be fun. I know they've been working really hard. What's that?
Have you 3 got the maze yet at all? Have you done the maze?
I have.
I have not. There's a really long story with that. But
I was just going to say there's a lot of people I know who have not gotten the maze because they weren't cashing when the maze was actually available here in the States.
That answers my question. I was going to ask, is it still relevant?
It is.
Yeah.
Well, and
it's becoming more relevant again now that it's back in circulation again, because so many people weren't cashing back then that it's a whole new icon for them. It's a whole new experience now too. So I don't know, and it also adds to that whole like 15 icons in a day thing that you can do. I know a lot of people are interested in that. So, hey, one thing that I didn't add on here, and I don't know if this is happening or not, so I take this for what it is, audience. But the Yuma Mega event. GSM times 2 might know something about it, but I didn't see it on the schedule. I'm not sure if it's happening. Usually that's in February, so they may not be doing that this year.
That's a shame.
Yeah. If I were running a mega event that was pre-May or March at this point, I would not have done it. And Just Finding Our Way says that Yuma is not happening.
Yeah, that's what I was into. That's a shame.
Yeah, which is what I was betting.
The good news is they at least got to have theirs in 2020. They at least got to do that. So
yeah, so they're still missing one, but they didn't miss their 2020.
They're not missing 2. Yeah,
right. But GSM times 2 says that the maze at Geo Woodstock was really well done, and this is that same maze as I understand. That's just traveling now.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. I think it's going to be in the U.S. 3 times this year, and I believe. Greg, you might know more. It might be at in the Northwest.
I can't nor deny that. I've heard both sides of the story, and they haven't announced anything yet. See, so I'm not going to say anything.
No, fair enough.
I'm crossing my fingers. Everything else as well. Like, don't worry about that because we've never had it here in Australia.
Yeah,
you know, we actually looked at it because I've been part of a mega committee down here a few times. And we looked at it, and it was nearly $30,000 to get it built down here. Yeah. And we're like, no, we don't have that sort of cash.
No, it's expensive to move this kind of stuff around. Yeah. And when you start talking, getting it across continents,
yeah,
that makes it even worse, I'm sure. Yeah. We did get an email though that touches on the Mingo Madness. Chris, did you want to read that one?
I would love to. It comes from Ryan Semmels. It says, this is Semmels 123 down here in Kansas. And I heard in last week's podcast that you'll be doing an update on possible 2021 events. I'm on the hosting committee for both Mingo Madness and GeoCoinFest 2021, both being held in Kansas. And they'll have the maze there as well. So it's with Mingo Madness, but on a boat, you mentioned the maze and
Yep.
it's there. After postponing Mingo Madness twice in 2020, we are still set to have this event on the second weekend in May 2021. With both the original and alternative plans of action still in place, we will execute whichever plan will best suit depending on the situations COVID presents. As for GeoCoinFest, we are still set and finalizing the updated plans for September 2021. With this event being in a more metro environment, there are more considerations, but we're working through them.
So there's a couple of different issues going on there for sure. But if I had to bet, I think the one in September is a lot more likely than the one in March is going to be. But I'm crossing my fingers that we can actually have both.
As we all are, mate. That we all are.
Yeah. But as we get into the mega event season here in North America, on May 22nd, we hope that we're going to have ASP GeoBash 15, which is the one in upstate New York. That's GC8NX8T for anyone who wants to look that up. And again, this was postponed from 2020, rescheduled to 2021. So that one, hopefully we'll see this year again. And you know, this is kind of the question. These guys have had that now an extra year to plan for it. But with all the curveballs thrown at them, what's going to really happen? And how much are they going to have to change the event from what it was? So hopefully it turns out to be a great event that actually goes. And I'm crossing my fingers that we get that one. But we're also going to have 3 events in Europe. We've got Belgium, Slovakia, and Norway that all have events that week or that day.
Wow.
Or weekend, I guess.
It's a busy weekend.
Is that a drivable hit 3 mega events in one weekend?
Well, we always have that big kickoff in early May. And it's one of those times where a lot of people have holidays or time off. The kids, get out of school. So it's a good time to have that first batch of events.
And the weather's getting nicer too. That always helps in the US.
Well, it's a good time weather-wise through most of the year. Yeah. Or most of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not, it's either cooling off or warming up depending on where you are, and the weather tends to be
mild,
pretty good.
Yeah, it's
regardless.
spring or fall.
Yeah.
Rather than summer or winter, which could be extreme.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I'm looking forward to as well, is that in America, you guys, some people don't realize how lucky you are. You've got so many events and mega events to choose from. You say here in Australia, we're lucky. We had the biggest amount of mega events supposedly last year, which didn't eventuate, which is this year now, which was three mega events in Australia. 3, that's it for the whole of Australia. There was 3 mega events, and they're like, oh yeah, there's 3 mega events in one weekend there, so
yeah.
Well, the problem is, I understand in Australia is the population is spread out. You can't get enough people to create those mega events.
Exactly. And that was the problem. And I think that's one of the other reasons why HQ were really great in helping the less fortunate of population of countries, and that is they lowered down the amount of will attends before they actually you can apply for a mega. I believe it's like 300 now. I think it is. So instead of the magic 500 before, now for us it's 300. So which is good.
Well, with 300 will attends, you probably get 600-700 people. At least that's how it works in America.
Well, and the other catch with the will attends is a lot of people are on team accounts. So it's 2, 3, 4, maybe a few more people. So if you have 300 will attends, the chances are you will have 500 people there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So it statistically makes sense to drop that, because it's not the will attends, it's 500 people. It's not 500 logs; it's 500 people.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. So no, that's good. They did that for us. So, but yeah, we've got 3 in Australia coming up this year in 2021, and 1 in New Zealand, which I'll talk about later on as well.
A mega event in New Zealand?
Yeah.
Or just an event? What?
No, it's huge. It's huge. Do you want me to spoil it for you now, or I can come back to it? It's up to you guys.
You know what? Let's come back to it. Let's just tease them for a little bit.
We'll tease them. New Zealand, we all know New Zealand's like the most eastern state of Australia, but anyway.
Yeah.
They love that. They love that.
Yeah, we'll kind of stick to this nice chronological order that
we should. Play it by ear, he says. Play it by ear. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Right.
On a Boat did a great job of putting all this stuff together for us. So we should give you credit and applause. Thank you for doing all the work for us today.
Hemisphere. From the north to the south.
The next one though is a return to mega status, Moga 2021. Which we hope is going to get held again. If it does, it's going to be a mega status. And this time it's going to be in Owensboro, Kentucky on the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend, which is May 30th.
Interesting.
So this is what I think it's been like 3 or 4 years since it had mega event status. And at that point, they willingly dropped the mega event status.
Yeah.
Willingly dropped it?
I think 2018 was the 2018, I believe, was the last year that they were a mega.
Yeah, you might be right. And then the following year, the committee that held it actually disbanded, and now it's a new committee entirely.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the whole story was there, but they basically had decided that they didn't want mega event status again.
Yeah.
Trust me, Daryl, when you're working in a committee of sorts, especially with geocaching as well, sometimes, people don't agree on different things. And so things may have to get disbanded. That's kind of what happened with my stuff. But anyway.
Yeah. No, but it was more the why did they not want the mega status? And I had been hearing from some other organizers at that point that once you've got the word of mouth set up, the mega status really doesn't help a whole lot, and they were kind of chafing at some of the requirements that you have to meet for mega. So I have the feeling that that's what was going on.
Interesting. Now I have several friends that have been on different committees for mega events, and those that are just become mega events, and will it make it again next year and all that. So they're always on the edge of, I think we're going to make it a mega. We're hoping. So
that's tough.
Yeah,
it is.
Well, and for most people, it seems like the mega event is coveted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hear for those Australians, I mean, that's all they really want. They're not even doing regular events. They're just holding out for the megas.
I mean, I won't say who or where or what, but there was one large event here in the last, I'm going to say 5 to 8 years, so it doesn't narrows it down. So it's a large event. It wanted to go mega. It wanted to go mega so much, and it was 100 short of will attends to go mega, to the point where the event organizers, because they had large sponsorships from the state itself, they tried to pay HQ for a mega event with a couple of $1,000, and HQ went, no. So it still wasn't a mega event. So,
interesting. So you can't buy a mega event.
No, you can't even buy one. See, that's how coveted they are. You can't even buy one.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. They're not, they're not supposed to be sponsored events, and mega.
No.
The whole thing is that as a mega event, geocaching.com is sponsoring your event.
Yes, that's right.
And that was one of the problems that they had with some of the mega event statuses. But GSM Times 2 is saying he believes that for like the MOGA, there are more competitive events, and having the mega status cuts into the essence of the event.
Interesting.
That was a lot of what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, and I totally get that. I can see that one as well.
Yeah. I actually enjoy the variety of mega events over in America. Like we're talking about the varieties here in terms of the variety of the style of mega. So, you got anything from the Geo Coin Fest, which is basically all about coins and whatnot, all the way through to something like the Giga, for instance, in Cincinnati that I went to. And that was just a 1-day stay event, The mega here in Australia are predominantly over a long weekend. Everyone camps out in the same location, and you go out caching with all different friends every single day and then come back at night for the nighttime activities. So I like in America, I like how their variants of their style of mega. That's what I like.
Well, and you've got the Mogas and the going cachings, which are the competitive. You get into like going caching, and it's a whole like themed event weekend.
Yeah, I did actually hear of one. I'm not sure where it was. It might have been Texas. I can't remember, but something about like you get up in teams and they got prizes for the male who gets the most points and caching points. Is that Moga?
Moga.
Yep.
Yeah.
Moga does. Texas Challenge does some
they do
competitions as well.
Regional team competitions.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of these competitions.
And then out here in the Northwest, we have the low-key megas, like the ape event. Yes, it's a mega, but we know it's a mega, and we don't have to tell everybody.
Yeah. And let's all hold hands and go for a walk and find an ape cache.
Yeah, exactly. Hold hands through a 2.25 mile tunnel.
Yep, that's right.
Find one cache, call it a mega event. We're good.
That's it. We're done.
The one time that I was out there for the block party in 2015, and the amount of people that were in that tunnel at one time is absurd. Like it's a parking lot.
Yeah, I was looking forward to going through the tunnel for the first time because I've done the ape cache, but the tunnel was closed.
Yeah.
So I want to do it just to go back and do the tunnel.
Yeah. It was cool. That's a fun event.
I enjoy doing the tunnel.
Weird event, but it's cool.
It's very different. Yeah.
So.
It'd be a super spreader event now with that many people in that many confined space.
The tunnel's cold and windy, so COVID should just be pushed right through the tunnel.
Well, it doesn't like the cold, does it?
Well, yeah, but that's the whole problem. You're standing at the other end waiting to get in, and you're just blasted with COVID.
A COVID blast to the face.
It's a COVID cannon. We should say those kind of things.
Oh boy! Well, there goes that event this year. Thanks, Daryl.
Now we're in trouble.
Yes.
Hey, you mentioned so it's kind of a good segue to get back on track. But you were talking about new events and kind of how that's all working and stuff like that. It's kind of a good segue into the next thing I was going to mention. So we've been talking about May, right? So Moga is the end of May, beginning of June. Here in Ohio, myself and the team I'm working with, we're putting together a new event here in Ohio. It's not a mega yet. I'm not allowed to say it's a mega yet. It's got a whole lot of will attends. It's growing even bigger and bigger every day as people are getting more optimistic, right? It's the Ohio Geoclash and Festival 2021. It's GC8TQQQ. If anybody's interested in checking it out. And it's going to be, Craig was talking about styles. It's going to be kind of like all the styles put together in a way. We got camping, we've got caches galore. We got the geo trail thing with the county park system going on. A little bit of regional competition going on for our Ohio folks and out of state folks. So it's just one of those like, it's meant to be like a celebration to caching kind of thing. Once a year, we're hoping we can do it for our Ohio to kind of get Ohio hey, Ohio's awesome for caching. Let's get people together. That was our goal.
Ohio's awesome anyway.
Ohio's fantastic.
And I love the name, the Ohio, the festival. To me, when I hear festival, I think of music and stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you can come back and there'll be a band playing. You can get the Travel Bugs playing as well. There's a little shout out to them.
Well, that's a great idea.
I thought the Clash were going to be there. It's in the name.
Yeah,
I haven't heard back from them yet. I did place a few phone calls. I tried to send some emails. Nothing's been returned yet. Not sure why, but
okay.
Hit up the Travel Bugs then.
Yeah. I don't want them to think they're my plan B, but I can
just put it's a mega concert.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I can't use that word yet.
Oh. Well, Yeah.
We're planning for it to be a mega concert.
Yes.
Um,
Mega as in large.
but
Right.
anyway, it's so that one, we've been talking about being optimistic and everything. That I tell you what, we've been working on that since September. It's been the interesting thing. It's been really tough to get the word out about it, right? Because we haven't had events here in Ohio, so we haven't had local events to talk to people,
Mm.
to get the word out. We hadn't had other mega events, like we didn't have Midwest Geobashes here to have an Ohio Geocaching Association table to promote their event, and so I don't know. That's another whole new challenge of COVID, was trying to create an event post COVID during COVID. Like that was a
See, as
mess.
of from 2022 onwards, if it does become a mega as well, you could then just pronounce it like MOF, MOF, the Mega Ohio Festival. So MOF, it's the MOF event. Come to the MOF. So you never know.
And you'll find Mothman,
And you'll find
Yeah.
Mothman at the MOF. That's right.
Mothra. What other moths are there? I'm working on it.
I can hear the wheels turning, Chris. I can actually hear them. Listen closely. You can hear them.
Sorry, I'll turn the mic down.
So after that, just to get into the next section here, after that, we kind of get into this like unknown territory. Things are kind of TBD. There's a whole bunch of different rumors surrounding a lot of this, so nothing's set in stone. Everything's TBD. Just to preface that. Tri-Cities Challenge. That's a really popular event out in Washington.
Mhm.
That one's kind of wait and see right now. I'm being told that event is normally at the end of June. I believe around the 27th, 26th, that kind of that last weekend in June. Still not published at this moment. I think they're kind of waiting to see what happens with
Right.
everything going on. Same thing also with the CMAS GeoFest. That's kind of a newer mega. It's been around for a couple years. The event itself's been around for a while, but it got mega status, I think, 2 years ago. It's in the middle of Massachusetts. That one is normally the weekend before Midwest Geobash. So I have it noted here as 7/17 of 21. Also not published. Probably still kind of holding. I hadn't heard back from anybody by the time we got to the show tonight. So more events in Europe, because Europe, I feel like there's an event in Europe every weekend. I think there's 4 or 5 more at the end of June, July. They also have another maze out there in France at that point.
Mhm. I love that one. That's the 2020 +1.
Yeah, +1. Yeah. Every time
We've already got all that. We've got the banners made, the coins made. Just add +1. We'll be fine. You'll just get a Sharpie.
Speaking of which, I'm going to circle back to what you just said here in a second.
Okay.
I'm going to show you something that'll make you laugh. So, after that, July 24th, 2021, Midwest Geobash 2021, GC88QKK. That was rescheduled from 2020, just like everything else we've been talking about. That's, I mean, I tell you what, it's kind of a pain in the butt to plan a mega, right?
Mhm.
It takes a lot of work and everything like that. But you don't realize until you have like 2 years to do it that you're like now I'm just bored. 'Cause it's like I already planned everything.
I figured it was going to be like the wedding. It's like however much time you have to plan it, it will occupy that amount of time.
Yes.
I don't know. It's actually been really nice, because I think we kind of got lucky almost the way things worked out in 2020, where, as you know, Daryl, we kind of postponed at the last minute. Like literally the 11th hour, we were like, we can't do this. Like the HQ, we had conversations with HQ, the city, the county, and it was just like, no, this isn't going to happen.
I want to say it was within 2 weeks.
No, it was about
Was it a month?
it was about a month, because I still had time. It was about a month and a half, actually, because it was the beginning of June, because I had time to get out of some of the swag orders, but not all the swag orders, as Chris mentioned.
Sorry. I can't believe you used 2020 and lucky in the same sentence.
Yeah, so I have a few things that were shipped to us. We have we have the maze coming to Midwest Geobash, and if you guys can see that, see the nice
There you go.
see
Yeah.
the nice number right at the top there,
Oh yeah, 2020.
yes.
2020, right? So Then we got this one here. It says 2020 right on it as well. It's our maize coin there. It says 2020 right by my
Oh,
finger
very
there.
nice.
So, but yeah, so that's an interesting challenge is having 2020 merch. But I don't know. But like I said, we got lucky that we thought we actually thought we were having the event. We really did, and so we got everything done thinking that we were having the event, except for the stuff that we do at the last minute every year, like printing stuff. But so there's not a whole lot left to do. So we've actually had the luxury, which I think some of these other events might have, which is really exciting looking at 2021. Some of these other events are that are really creative. You know, thinking of the going cachings and the themed events, the Moga, the Tri Cities with their great coins, stuff like that. They've had so much time to plan now. They put on great events with 1 year of planning. Like, what's 2 years of planning going to look like, right? So, like, I know at Midwest GeoBash, we've added more. We've added more events. We're like, what if we do this? Oh, hey, we've got a couple months to figure this out. Let's do this now. So, I don't know. That's honestly the number one thing I'm looking forward to in 2021 is like, what new stuff can come out of this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With all these
What kind of
brilliant
refinements?
minds. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
on a boat, GSM times 2 says, you know, that makes it very collectible having the 2020 on the coin. Now, is that like an upside down airplane penny where, you know, it's going to be incredibly rare, or people look at it and go, nah, that didn't happen. That's, you know,
Yeah.
that's,
I don't know.
you know.
I've got them. Come to buy them.
See, and what you could do as well, you've seen it. Obviously, everyone saw the dumpster coins.
Oh yeah.
I
Play it
so
off.
badly
Play it
wanted
off
one, and
as-
I could not get my hands on one.
Get a few of those, and use them as the holders for the 2020
There you
coins. You know? That'd be ideal. Like, you know, let's embrace this.
Yep. Before we get into the next like crazy busy part of the year, the last thing I wanted to mention in the July section is there's 4 more events in Europe. Surprise! So
Who knew?
there, I could have filled this with 45 minutes of content on European
Europe.
events because there's
So-
so much happening.
So you're saying there's a month in Europe with 4 events, followed by a month in Europe with 4 events?
Followed by another month with 4 events.
Yeah. Okay.
No, there's only 3 events in the third month, and then there's 5 events in the next one. I'm joking.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I think you're right.
It's the way
actually.
the
Pretty
weekends
close.
fall.
Yeah.
It's not a leap year next year. It's not a leap year.
Yeah.
Well, and I think one of the interesting things to look at for 2021 is where are these mega events allowed to happen and where they're not going to be allowed. Because it's entirely possible that we have some of these events in the US, but not all. It's entirely possible we don't have any of the events, but it could be that Europe is wide open. Or does this new variant end up throwing us a bigger wrench than it looks like right now? And all of Europe is closed, but the vaccine works well, and US is open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm as curious about that as anything else, and I see like a GeoCoin betting game happening based on which events are happening where.
I'll bet 2020 against your 2021.
Yeah. See, there's all your 2020 coins.
That's right.
Yeah.
5 2020 coins for 1 2021. I like it.
So moving into August, we've got August 7th, the 2021 Metro Gathering, which is in New Jersey, of course. And
New
it's
Jersey.
GC 93D53. So this is a new event for northern New Jersey. Same location as last year, apparently.
New location.
Oh, new location.
Well,
Okay.
Well, the same location that they were going to use in 2020, but it's new since the last time they had their event.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a Revolutionary War Geo Trail in New Jersey to go along with it. So that
just published. That only published about a month ago.
Yeah.
My New Jersey friends, like
Steve Michelle has all these New Jersey friends.
from what
He's
I've
well
heard, it is a
connected.
very good Geo Trail too.
Yes, yes. I've heard the same thing. I'm looking forward to doing it. But isn't it funny though? Like anyone I talk to over here in Australia, right? I talk to some random here in Australia and they said, where are you moving to? And I say, New Jersey. And they do the same thing as everyone else. Oh, New Jersey, New Jersey. Like they say it with that accent. I'm like, I've never heard that accent before. New Jersey. I'm like,
Why would you want to move to New Jersey? Nobody wants to move to New Jersey.
Well, you obviously haven't seen my fiance.
Well, there you go. Okay.
Oh, yes. See, I've got in good already. There you go. I'm done.
Touche. You win. Okay.
Then the following weekend is a West Bend $1,000 cash bash, which again was canceled this year. I like to go to those, but I was not going to be able to do this last year because of the celebration events. This year, it looks like we've got some distance because they're looking at August 14th. So that's always a great time because they do a wonderful job with the caches out there. It's one of those unique cities where everyone knows about caching and they support caching in general. So you're not the crazy geocachers. You're the guys bringing in money. So yeah, it's an interesting way to cache and a very different way to cache. So I just love going there.
Are you planning to go, Daryl?
I am not planning on anything.
Well, okay. If things open up, would you say, yeah, that's worth going to?
Yeah, and there is a better than even chance that I would try to book everything if I could make it all happen, because I would love to be able to, it's getting the time off, getting the cash available to do all of these, but I'd love to be able to do West Bend, and I really want to do the celebration events in the Northwest, Pacific Northwest, because, when are you going to get to do that again?
10 years from now.
Well, 9 years. 9 years from
9
now.
years.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Hey, we're in 2021 now.
Right.
Well, I actually think it's better because obviously with the US as well, the 21st birthday, the geocache can actually drink alcohol now rather than the 20th.
Right.
You see? It makes more sense.
That's the whole reason they didn't want to do it on the 21st. We're already enough like drunken bees.
Oh, can you imagine a group of drunk geocaching like people walking around the streets of Seattle?
I'm not going to go there. Instead, we're going to move on to the Discover L&A County Geocaching Event, GC8B D10, which is going to be on August 21st. And these guys are going to have a problem because they're going to be butting up against those events. But it's in Ontario, Canada, on the northern side of Lake Ontario. So they're going to have all of those other events to compete with. And Chris, I'm going to let you tell us about those events.
Well, if you're not going west, that L&A County geocaching event might be a good option.
Well, and this is true. If you want to avoid flying, then you could probably pull off a big trip between West Bend and going to the L&A County.
As long as the border's open.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the key.
Yeah.
Right? If the border's open.
Well, and I do worry about flying in 2021 with all of the planes that they've mothballed.
Yeah.
They're trying to keep the planes as packed as they can. We're not seeing as many flights. If demand doesn't increase quickly, I think we are going to have more expensive and fewer flights. So it's going to be harder to get places this summer.
Yeah. When I heard you mention that last night, I was like, oh man, he's so right. Oh crap. I thought about everywhere that I wanted to go, and I'm like, no, my wallet.
That's the thing. Is I've got to go to a couple of places for work too, and it's all on hold.
Yeah, but on a boat, think how much money you saved on traveling this year.
I just spent it on other things.
That's the thing. The money that you didn't spend gets
it's still
reallocated.
gone. It's still gone.
It's not there.
Yeah.
You don't save it.
Not to mention, it seems like everything ended up costing more and taking longer this year.
Oh,
yeah. We spent more here on food, alcohol, and Amazon. Let's be honest. Like that's just.
Oh, dude, Amazon
has so much of my money now.
If people don't have a ring light now, if they don't have a green screen now, if they don't have
And we're not talking about people who do anything on YouTube or podcasts. We're
Nope,
talking
nope.
about the people who are doing the work from home thing.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. Boy. Well, here in the West and in the Northwest specifically, we've got some events that are still being planned. The 20th anniversary celebration at Groundspeak headquarters. I'm sorry, at geocaching.com headquarters. It's been long enough. I should know better by now.
Hey, at
That's
least you're not calling it grounded.
Grounded
Yeah.
Speak. Yeah, that's true.
No,
Grounded
grounded.
ink.
You're right.
Grounded ink.
Grounded.
Yeah, yeah.
I did that a few times.
Apparently, they're old enough; they're not getting grounded anymore.
No.
Well, they're turning 21 this year, so
Open bar at all the events.
yeah.
They are still having the 20th, even though it'll be the 21st year, 20th anniversary celebration event as GC 896 Papa Kilo, August 21st. Now, the Going Ape Mega, you know, that low key mega that everybody likes, and you walk through a tunnel. It's not published, but they're still planning on it August 22nd. The Geo Woodstock Rego event. It's a community celebration.
Rego event. That's an Australian typo. That's me, mate. I typed that for you.
Oh, it's Rego. Okay.
Rego, as in registration. We shorten everything here.
Registration.
I thought it was re-go, like they're going again. Like,
No.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Registration.
rego of the 2020 event.
yeah, that's what I thought.
It failed to
gonna-
get off the ground, so they're
Yeah. They're
I'm not gonna be able
re-going.
to shorten anything anymore. Jeez. Rego. It's a Rego event, fellas. Come on.
That's
Crikey.
GC8 Hotel Mike X-Ray Alpha on August 27th. And then you've got Geo Woodstock 18 Mega. That's GC86 Victory Delta Foxtrot, August 28th. And that's a really good weekend, folks. You really should come out here because somebody you know has things going on that weekend.
well, and I hate to say it, but it's a go back and to listen to our shows from like 2019 to find out why you should go.
We'll have those people on again because, you know, things have changed and gotten better.
Yeah. Things are definitely changed, and I'm sure the events are going to be very different than they would have been if they happened in 2020.
For the better.
But again, we have lots of events in Europe on the at the end of August, beginning of September.
That's because there's a month there with 4 weekends.
Yeah.
There's
Well, no,
eight
again,
megas then. There's 8 megas there then. 4
This is
weekends.
a great time to get the events in again.
Yeah.
It's the end of the summer, beginning of the fall season that you tend to have good weather and just before kids go back to school. But, it always creates problems for Chris and I because, our wives are teachers. But we've got the Geo Coin Fest 2021 in Kansas on Labor Day weekend, which is September 4th, GC8DT4T. And also in Georgia is the Jackson County Agritourism Geo Trail Kickoff, which is GC8G1M4. And they're going to have the GPS maze as well.
Ooh.
Mm.
Go and get lost in the maze.
I thought you were referring to me then, Chris. I said,
Oh,
really?
wow.
That's the third maze in the U.S.
Unless you are
21.
21 and drinking, I don't think you're going to get lost in that maze.
See, Michelle, I'd tell you to re-go and get lost.
Challenge accepted.
Do you have to Rego? Do you have to Rego to go through the maze? Or what?
I like Rego. That really works.
Yeah, Rego. Yeah.
Does it though?
I hadn't heard it before.
Yeah. Well, we'll go back to the COVID and stuff as well. Here, if you want some Sani here, pass me some Sani. It's hand sanitizer. We just say Sani now. Like it's just, oh yeah, you got some Sani. Yeah, here you go. Here's some Sani for you.
Just walk around saying Seni.
Sani, yeah, Sani. It's
Oh,
hand
see,
sanitizer.
your A's sound different than my A's.
Sani.
It's
Yeah,
San.
yeah. We apparently talk through our nasal passage, but anyway, Sani.
Whatever.
See,
I'm not going to do that in Jersey.
That's still too long. The people I
ain't gonna
work
lose
with are
this.
calling it just sand.
Just
Just
saying.
Sani. Yeah,
Sand.
yeah.
You know,
Also, we wear our thongs in a totally different place to what you guys do.
This is true. This is true.
And they're not comfortable in either place.
Oh, I don't know. I like them both. But anyway, moving on. What do we got next?
Wow.
What do we got next, mate? What do we got next?
I don't want to know what you have next.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
That's a good segue. See, another good segue.
Great segue. Yeah, somehow. As of right now, that Georgia Maze and Mega, those are the last things we have on the schedule in the U.S. As everybody in this room probably knows, all the audience, Going Caching isn't on this list. That event's not published yet. To my knowledge, the sources that I have heard from have told me it's likely going to be the weekend of October 2nd of 2021. So that's another one that's just been, they've had extra time to plan. That's going to be a big shindig, right? It always is anyway, right?
Mhm.
I can't wait to see what it's going to be this year. So that should be cool. But anyway, yeah, after the US, I know we've got some other stuff. Craig, what's happening elsewhere?
We've all ours are leftovers. We call them leftovers because of they've been postponed from last for us. They've been
Everything's a
postponed.
leftover.
They're rewarmed.
Well, so,
They're regos. They're all regos.
I like it. Yeah, we've got some leftovers down under here. We've got the Oz Geomuster is 2021. That's in my state, New South Wales. See, I've even put the dates like you guys say it, just so you don't confuse you. June 26th.
Looks great, man.
You like it? Yeah, I thought you would.
I think it's great.
June 26th is the Oz Geomuster. Then we've got the Geo Venture, again, one of the ones that postponed from South Australia, October the 2nd. Now, here it is, the New Zealand Mega. Actually, this New Zealand Mega, Joshua, the geocaching vlogger, he was supposed to go down to in 2020. He's still going down apparently in 2021, but yeah, he's going to New Zealand on October the 23rd, the New Zealand Mega. Now, rumor has it, let me just have a look here for you. New Zealand Mega, ready for their GC code. Their GC code is GC87777.
Ooh.
Rumor has it, though, that they actually did approximately 55 or 56 event
Registrations to get that.
To get that one, and they archived the 49. Rumor has it. It's
Just a rumor.
It's a rumor. You can't quote me on that. And then last but definitely not least, down in Victoria, we've got the Wangaratta event on November 21st. So yeah, they're the 4 events. There's one in Queensland that's going to be a larger event so far, but again, not mega. And I think that one's in April of this year. This year for us, next year for you. So yeah, so that's it. So again, as I said, like there's 4 here, maybe 5 in 2 countries over the whole year. So
yeah, it's better than none.
Yeah, this is true. This is all we had none.
Think about it. Like you think
yeah.
10 years from now,
and it makes it easier to plan which ones you're going to go to.
That's true.
Right.
Yes.
You know, we've got an embarrassment of riches here.
We have to pick and choose where to spend our travel money.
Yeah. Do I take my vacation days too? Don't forget those.
Mhm.
Do I take my vacation cash and go to Georgia for going caching, or do I head out to the Pacific Northwest?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and then you've got.
And the answer is yes.
Yeah. It's like, I want to do all of them.
Well,
can I just take a sabbatical year
yeah.
and do all of these giga and mega events? Actually, I don't think we have any gigas on the schedule this year, do we?
Daryl, you can continue doing your job by Zoom.
Yeah.
And just not tell them you happen to be in Australia at the moment.
Yeah, I could get away with a lot of that travel now, but certainly not that much. What I'd love to be able to do is figure out how to go and do all of the travel and still like go and visit some of our offices around the world.
Mm. Well, you still
And
can't
then
travel
you
to Australia. You still can't get down here yet.
What's that?
Yeah, I said you can't travel to Australia yet. There's no visas. You know, that's not allowed. Only if you're Australian citizen can you come to
going to and from Mexico is a little bit tricky now.
Yeah,
and that's one of the offices that I have to get down to. And we have some deadlines hitting because we're actually opening a new office in Mexico City. So I've got to get down there for that one. It's not like things aren't going to happen if I don't get down there, but
Yeah.
it's like I really need to get to some of these places, and right now I just can't travel. Even going to Chicago became a little bit of an ordeal. Which is a drive there.
Mm.
It's
Oh, that's just because of Scott.
Chad.
well,
Chad.
the office building is right above one of the big transit centers. They've actually shut down certain floors of that building multiple times because of COVID cases.
Yep.
At this point, they've stopped shutting down the building for COVID cases.
Actually, Daryl, Dan in the chat room there, he asked, "Isn't Geo Woodstock a giga?" He's asking, "Isn't Geo Woodstock a giga?"
It's not yet.
No.
I was
Not
just gonna
officially.
I was just gonna mention that. So there is one current Giga event scheduled.
Mhm.
There is we're talking about weird GC numbers, right? 20 years of geocaching Prague 2020 edition 2021. Because why not? GC number for that is GC7WWWW.
Oh,
Ooh.
Daryl W needs to go to that one. He's-
Four
he's-
times.
He's got double
W4.
the W.
Hey, if someone's willing to pay, I'm
Yeah.
willing to entertain it.
Daryl, it's got like half of your name in it.
That's right. It's got double the W's.
That one, that's the only current Giga. As GSM times 2 said here in the chat, Geo Woodstock has 2,900 will attends. So that one has a shot. There are a few others that are also in the thousands of will attends, all of which are in Europe. So it's possible we get more. When I say we get more, I'm not going to be at the ones in Europe, so I don't know who we is, but
We as a geocaching community.
Geocaching community.
We as a race,
community.
human race, community. That's right.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
what's the magical number then, Ian, in regards to the giga? Is it 3,000?
3,000 is
3,000.
it works basically the same way as a
Yeah.
mega event. It's like 10 times as big, basically.
300, 3,000. Yep.
Yeah.
So you only need, what's that, 83 will attends to go before they can apply.
So I want to mention two other things real quick before we head out of here. A couple other things since we're talking about megas. Keep in mind that the locationless signal cache thing was also extended into 2021.
Yeah.
So the very few people that were fortunate enough to get that in 2020, they won't get to log it again. But all of us that missed it, will have a chance in 2021 to get that still. Additionally, all of the mega events have been given. I'm not sure if new ones are getting them, but all of the mega events for 2020 were originally given community celebration events as well to host on the weekend of their mega event. Those are also being extended into 2021 as well, so look forward to that. So a whole bunch of different new icons, all that stuff. What was I just going to say a second ago?
So if you've got like the maze, you've got a mega, and you've got a community celebration, there's 3 icons already. So for those icon hunters, the ones who love, as you said, 15 a day, that's going to be great for them.
Yeah.
And if Signal's there, you can get a location list.
Location is 4. There you
Lab
go.
caches. Yep.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see a lot of pent up demand from 2020, and 2020 was already going to be such a big year. And all of us who have the community celebration events that we were awarded, if we haven't used them, they've been extended as well. So it's going to be a great year for events if we can actually hold those events. And I was able to get to a community celebration event this year that was an outdoor event in the fall, because we were allowed to do the events. And they just, instead of doing their normal events at this park like they used to, because they couldn't hold the typical gathering, they had a celebration event with a whole bunch of new caches, and everyone went out caching. It was a great time.
I had to come all the way up to Southern Michigan to get one this year. So
Yeah.
I went to Allenite's event down in whatever county, Hillsdale County, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Came up to your.
I had to drive over 8 hours to get to Idaho to get to a celebration event.
Jeez.
Oh,
I actually, I tell you what, I actually just logged both of the ones that I went to this year today, about an hour before I got on the show, and I was like, why don't I have that icon yet? I've been to 2. I didn't log either of them. But hey, last thing, we were just talking about will attends. I just want to end with this, and then I'll shut up. I've heard a lot of people talking about they're not sure of the COVID situation. They're not sure if they're going. They're hesitant to post a will attend or whatever. Um, as of right now, and then this is coming from a mega event host. As of right now, all of these hosts are still planning as if COVID doesn't exist almost, right? They're trying to get things put together as if the event was going to happen and it was going to be the best thing in the world, right? So if you think you are going to be there, right, and if you think you're going to be there, you think you're going to go to this event, let them know so they can plan for your attendance being there, right? Don't not post it because, oh well, if COVID's bad, maybe I don't go. Delete your will attend later, or have some faith that they're not going to put you in a bad situation. They're not going to have the event if COVID's still bad. They're going to postpone again, most likely, right? But
And
you
I
know,
was
for
going
all
to say,
these,
but by doing that, by posting the will attend as well, what you do is you put your name on that list, and therefore, if something happens with announcements or whatever else, you get an announcement straight away. You see from the owners or the committee. So definitely post your will attends. Yeah, I'm a big advocate for that.
Yeah, if you think you're going to go, post your will attend for sure.
Yeah, and then you get first known of any changes that might occur. So
yeah,
absolutely. Mate, absolutely.
So.
Dan says that after missing so many events, any events will be the best thing ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I 100% agree.
Well, Chris, I hosted my own community celebration event only a couple of weeks ago. I drove 3 minutes, and we had an indoor dining area, big meal, big celebration. It was beautiful because we're allowed here because we're so good. You see, that's what it is.
Yeah,
you have 3 cases in the whole.
3 cases in my whole state, and my whole state of New South Wales would cover approximately about 6 or 7 of your states, like in terms of size, geographic. Obviously, we're spread out a lot more in population, but still. Yeah.
Well, I was hearing Orange County, California, is a 27% positive rate on their COVID tests this week.
That's tough.
That's insane.
Let's be honest, though. America has never been so positive as what it is now.
Exactly.
I think we're the wrong kind of positive.
And this is some of the best testing we've ever done.
All right.
Oh, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun. You got my hopes up. We're going to hit some events this year. Hopefully we can get all these. And I'm actually hopeful that we'll have these. So thank you so much for your input and joining us this evening.
Yep. Thanks for having us. Happy New Year. It's going to be
Happy
better than
New
2020. Can't get any worse. So
right. 2021 is sensational. There's still like some simmering sort of active and stuff, but trust me, I'm in the future now. And it is a lot better than 2020.
Oh, on a boat in Daryl, you're just like an hour and 45 minutes away, aren't you?
Close, yeah. Hour and 47 minutes.
They're popping the fireworks outside already.
I haven't heard a single firework tonight. It's the weirdest year ever, man. I don't know what's going on.
I was hearing them last night for some reason. I'm like, you guys, you don't know what time it is? You don't know what day it is? Figure it out here.
They thought they were in Australia.
They're just trying to rush 2020 out the door.
That's it.
That's the Australian. That's all the Australian contingent in the Northwest. That's what it is.
Okay. All 2 of them.
Yeah.
And they've been very healthy.
2's enough. Trust me. When you want an Australian around, 2 is enough. Goodness, you don't even know. You can't even understand when I say Rego, for goodness sake. Jeez.
Rigo? What are you saying?
Rego. I'm going to go Rego.
Just take your Sandy and go away.
Oh, don't worry. I got my Sandy at the back. It's all good. Okay. I'll put on my thongs too before I leave the house.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you very much again.
Thank you, guys.
We are looking forward to that 2021 event season being really good. Next week, though, we're going to do a randomized show. So make sure to send in any of your comments, questions, points of interest, any feedback for any of our shows to geogearheads@cashmaniacs.com so we can get that in on next week's show.
And until then, check the Cashomaniacs website at cashomaniacs.com for more on the Geo Gearheads, including show notes from this and all of our episodes. We love hearing from our listeners. So leave us feedback by emailing geogearheads@cashomaniacs.com or through the many channels of social media. Your support helps keep the Cashomaniac shows coming. Please consider becoming a patron through the link on our website to support the Cashomaniac shows. Geo Gearheads is produced by Chris Umfenauer and Daryl Wattenberg. The show's copyright For the Last Time 2020 by Daryl Wattenberg. All rights reserved.